Hey warriors, welcome back. The Machiavellian mind. Have you ever stopped to consider why a select few seem to acquire everything they desire, while others remain trapped by the same issues for years on end? Here is the raw reality. Your deficiencies are not just small imperfections. They are quiet saboteurs operating against you each and every day. Most individuals believe weakness is merely a character trait. Incorrect. Weakness is a decision, and each day you decide to remain weak, you are choosing to stay without power. Machiavelli grasped a concept that contemporary culture attempts to conceal from you. The world observes the image you project. Only a handful truly encounter your genuine self. The universe does not compensate good intentions. It compensates strength, strategic thinking, and tangible outcomes. Today, I will demonstrate precisely how to pinpoint the weaknesses that are undermining your existence and eradicate them before they demolish everything you are building towards. But first, let me pose this question to you. What if all the instruction you've received about being pleasant and tolerant was engineered to keep you manageable? Let's begin. Number 1. Weakness is installed, not innate. Weakness is not inherent at birth. It is a construct deliberately embedded into your psyche from a young age. Reflect on it. From the beginning, the system instructs you to apologize constantly, even when you are not at fault. Prioritize everyone else's demands above your own. Never assert yourself because it is considered impolite. Embrace average results because everyone is doing their best. Seek authorization to chase your ambitions. Feel shame for desiring more than others possess. This is not learning. It is conditioning. And its objective is to generate obedient, predictable individuals who will not question the established order. Observe how this conditioning manifests in your everyday life. You check your device immediately upon waking, allowing external agendas to commandeer your focus before you've even established your own priorities for the day. You agree to obligations you dislike because refusal feels awkward, even though every yes to something you don't want is a no to something you do. You minimize your accomplishments to avoid making others feel inadequate, effectively penalizing yourself for your own success. You sidestep challenging discussions, permitting small issues to escalate into major crises. Machiavelli stated, "The lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves. One must therefore be a fox to recognize traps, and a lion to frighten wolves. You have been conditioned to be neither. You have been conditioned to be the hunted. Every instance you avoid conflict. Every time you settle for less than you merit. Every occasion you justify the behavior of those who do not value you. You are strengthening this conditioning. The most hazardous aspect is that this programming convinces you that choosing yourself is selfish, that having standards is harsh, that wanting more is avarice. The individuals who taught you these principles do not abide by them themselves. The accomplished people in your sphere did not reach their status by being perpetually agreeable. The positive update is this. Once you recognize the programming, you can uninstall it. Begin to interrogate every lesson you've internalized about politeness. Ask yourself, is this conviction aiding my objectives, or is it limiting me? When someone advises you to be realistic, inquire, are they shielding you or are they shielding themselves from your potential? When someone remarks that you are changing as you grow more powerful, acknowledge that as praise, not disapproval. Number 2, weakness makes you a target. Let me share a potentially startling truth. In the actual world, there exist only 2 kinds of people, those who claim what they want and those who receive the remnants. Your weaknesses are not merely personal shortcomings. They are glaring signals informing everyone in your vicinity. This individual can be influenced. Consider your professional environment. Who receives the advancements? The person who labors the hardest, or the person who understands how to present themselves advantageously? The person who works late nightly hoping for recognition, or the person who ensures their work is seen and their worth is unquestionable? Reflect on your personal relationships. Who holds greater influence? The person who is more emotionally invested, or the person who possesses the willingness to depart. The person who tolerates poor treatment due to fear of solitude, or the person who recognizes their value and insists it be honored. What occurs when you broadcast weakness? People continually test your limits. They incrementally push further each time, gauging your tolerance level. Your viewpoints are ignored in discussions because it is known you won't contest them. Your time is valued less than others because you never guard it. Your ambitions are ridiculed or belittled because people know you lack the conviction to defend them. The severe truth is that people do not respect what they can easily control. They respect what they cannot. Machiavelli once expressed, "It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both." This does not imply cruelty. It signifies being an individual whose boundaries cannot be violated without repercussions. Being feared does not mean people are frightened of you. It means they respect your standards and know you will uphold them. It means they reconsider before wasting your time. It means they think about your response before overstepping your limits. It means they value your opinion because they know you do not offer it freely. When you exhibit weakness, you are not only harming yourself, you are teaching others to treat you inadequately. Every time you accept disrespect, you are demonstrating that disrespecting you carries no penalty. Your weakness becomes their opening. Your indecision becomes their benefit. Your apprehension becomes their authority over you. Here is the most devastating part. Once people learn they can manipulate you, they lose all respect for you. Even if they gain from your weakness, they privately scorn it. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I select respect over approval. Power over convenience. Number 3. The comfort trap keeps you weak. Comfort is the adversary of excellence. Most individuals select the secure route, the foreseeable route, the route where they avoid confronting their fears. And that is precisely why they remain fixed in lives they do not desire. Comfort generates weakness because it removes the necessity to evolve. When everything is effortless, you never cultivate the capabilities required for life's genuine trials. Look around you. How many people do you know who are living the identical life they lived 5 years ago? Same occupation, same issues, same justifications, same constraints. That is not coincidence. That is comfort. But here is what comfort truly costs you. Your potential perishes in comfort. Each day you select the easy path, you are choosing to remain stagnant. Your aspirations do not die loudly. They expire quietly, one comfortable decision at a time. Your abilities decline in comfort. Like physical muscles, mental faculties require resistance to remain robust. When you evade difficult circumstances, you become less able to manage them. Your self-assurance diminishes in comfort. Genuine confidence originates from accomplishing hard tasks and succeeding. When you only perform easy duties, you begin questioning your capacity to handle anything demanding. Your prospects vanish in comfort. The finest opportunities always accompany risk and unpredictability. People who shun discomfort miss the chances that could revolutionize their lives. Machiavelli noted, "Whoever wishes to foresee the future must consult the past, for human events ever resemble those of preceding times." The cycle is perpetually the same. People who evade discomfort today create enormous suffering for themselves tomorrow. The person who avoids tough conversations ends up in a relationship that gradually erodes their self-worth. The person who avoids career risks ends up observing younger, more ambitious individuals get promoted past them. The person who avoids physical discomfort ends up with a body that cannot match their aspirations. The person who avoids emotional discomfort ends up living a life that feels secure but hollow. Every successful person you respect shares one common trait. They learned to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. They made the intimidating phone call. They had the arduous conversation. They made the move everyone labeled risky. They invested in themselves when it seemed unaffordable. They started before they felt prepared. While others were selecting comfort, they were selecting growth. The more you welcome discomfort in pursuit of your goals, the more comfortable your life genuinely becomes. Because you cultivate the confidence and abilities to manage whatever life presents. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I welcome discomfort as the cost of my growth. Number 4, the 4 lies that annihilate your power. Let me reveal the 4 most significant falsehoods that are keeping you powerless. Good things come to those who wait. Wrong. Good things come to those who take initiative. While you are waiting for the perfect moment, someone else is seizing what could have been yours. Everyone deserves respect. Respect is merited, not automatically granted. When you give respect to people who have not earned it, you diminish your own value. Just be yourself and people will like you. An unrefined version of yourself will attract the wrong individuals. The refined version of yourself might unsettle some people, and that is precisely the person you need to become. Everything happens for a reason. This is the peak of a victim mindset. Events occur due to the choices you make and the steps you take. Machiavelli stated, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. You experience what you really are." Cease to seem weak by accepting these lies. Each of these lies serves the identical purpose, to keep you passive, waiting, and reliant on others for your success. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I reject convenient lies and accept inconvenient truths. Number 5, replace emotion with calculation. This is where most people fail. They make emotional choices and then attempt to rationalize them logically. Successful people operate in reverse. They make logical choices and then regulate their emotions surrounding those decisions. When someone disrespects you, your emotion says, become angry. Your calculation should say, what reaction will best support my long-term interests? When someone offers you an opportunity, your emotion says, what if I fail? Your calculation should say, what is the actual risk versus the potential reward? When someone tries to manipulate you, your emotion says, perhaps they are correct. Your calculation should say, what are they attempting to gain from me? How emotional decision-making ruins your life. You react instead of respond. Reactions are automatic and typically unproductive. Responses are thoughtful and strategic. You make choices based on your momentary feelings, not on what will benefit you long-term. Feelings fluctuate hourly. Consequences endure for years. You become predictable. When people know exactly how you will react emotionally, they can engineer those reactions to extract what they want from you. You expend energy on the wrong conflicts. Emotions make everything feel immediate and critical, even when it is neither. Here is how calculation transforms everything. Before you reply to any scenario, you ask, what result do I truly want here? Before you take any step, you consider, how will this impact my situation 6 months from now? Before you interact with difficult people, you determine, is this worthy of my time and energy, or am I merely feeding my pride? Machiavelli expressed, the wise man does at once what the fool does finally. The distinction is this, the wise individual calculates first, then acts. The fool reacts first, then endures the consequences. This does not mean becoming unfeeling or callous. It means utilizing your emotions as data, not as your command system. Your emotions indicate what is important to you. Your calculation determines how to attain it. Most people have this reversed. They let their emotions steer their decisions and then wonder why they repeatedly achieve the same outcomes. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I am the master of my emotions, not their servant. Here is a concept that will transform everything for you. The instant you become overly attached to a specific result, you surrender your power to affect that result. Why? Because attachment makes you predictable, and predictable people are simple to manipulate. When you desperately require someone's approval, they control you. When you desperately need a particular job, the employer holds all the leverage. When you desperately need a relationship to succeed, the other person knows they can treat you poorly without facing repercussions. Strategic detachment means you desire the optimal outcome, but you are prepared for any outcome. Machiavelli stated, "The promise given was a necessity of the past. The word broken is a necessity of the present. This signifies you must always possess alternatives. Never place yourself in a position where another person's choice can ruin your plans. Always have a backup plan. When you are not desperate, you make superior decisions. When you are not needy, people respect you more. When you are not attached to results, you are free to take the actions that genuinely create those results. My peace originates from within, not from external approval." Number 7, become the consequence. Here is the ultimate lesson, and it is the most crucial one. Stop clarifying yourself to people who are resolved to misinterpret you. Stop rationalizing your choices to people who will not live with the outcomes. Stop apologizing for occupying space in a world that requires what you have to offer. You are not here to make everyone comfortable with your success. You are not here to diminish so others feel larger. You are not here to apologize for desiring more from life. Machiavelli once said, "It is not titles that honor men, but men that honor titles." Your value does not derive from others' opinions of you. It derives from what you accomplish with the time you have been granted. Become the person who does not need to declare their power. Everyone can sense it. Become the person who does not need to demonstrate their worth. Their outcomes speak for them. Become the person who does not need to defend their choices. Their success is their vindication. When you truly embody strength, you do not have to act strong. When you truly embody confidence, you do not have to prove you are confident. When you truly embody success, you do not have to persuade anyone you are successful. You become the consequence that others must contend with. Not through coercion, not through hostility, but through the undeniable reality of who you have chosen to become. Today, you learned that weakness is not just a character flaw. It is a strategic handicap that impacts every facet of your life. You uncovered how society conditions weakness into you from childhood, keeping you controllable and predictable. You comprehended why comfort is the enemy of growth and why you must welcome discomfort to evolve. You exposed the 4 lies that keep most people powerless their entire lives. You learned to substitute emotional reactions with strategic calculation. You discovered the power of detachment and why desperation ruins your leverage. And finally, you learned to become the consequence, the person whose presence alters the energy of every space they enter. You have now learned the fundamental truth. Weakness is not a personality trait. It is a strategic disadvantage. You understand it's a program installed in your mind, a target you wear, a comfort trap you fall into. You've seen the lies that hold you back and have begun the process of replacing emotion with calculation. You grasp the power of detachment, but this is where most people stop. They gain the knowledge, feel a temporary surge of motivation, and then nothing changes. Why? Because knowing the path and walking the path are 2 different battles. The first part was about opening your eyes. This part is about teaching you how to march. The initial awakening is crucial, but it is only the prelude to the real work. The silent destroyers you've identified don't surrender easily. They regroup in the shadows of your habits, your relationships, and your deepest fears. Today, we move from diagnosis to treatment, from understanding your weakness to engineering your strength. This is the unseen war for your potential, and it is fought not with fists, but with focus, not with aggression, but with absolute authority over your own life. Number 8, the architecture of a new mind. Deleting the old programming is only half the victory. The vacuum it leaves will be filled by something, either by the same old patterns creeping back in, or by a new, intentional operating system. You must architect a new mind. This isn't about positive thinking. It's about building a cognitive fortress. Your current mind is a house built with the cheap materials of social approval, fear, and laziness. A strong wind of adversity knocks it over. You must rebuild it with the steel and concrete of principle, discipline, and strategic thought. Install a new internal dialogue. The voice in your head isn't you. It's a recording of your past programming. When you hear, "You can't do that," or "What will people think?" you must have a pre-built, more authoritative voice to answer. This voice doesn't argue. It declares. It says, "My mission requires this. My standards are non-negotiable. My time is my most valuable asset, and I will protect it." This isn't affirmations whispered to a mirror. This is the internal command structure of a person who gets results. Curate your information diet. Your mind is shaped by what you feed it. The mindless scrolling, the negative news cycles, the entertainment designed to pacify, this is psychological poison. You must become a ruthless curator of the information that enters your brain. Consume the biographies of strategists and leaders. Study philosophy that deals with power and reality, like the Stoics who taught indifference to things outside one's control. Listen to content that challenges you to grow, not that comforts you in your stagnation. Your mind is a sacred ground. Not every thought deserves citizenship. Practice mental rehearsal. Top athletes and special forces soldiers use visualization not as a mystical practice, but as a neurological one. They fire the same neural pathways in rehearsal as they do in performance. You must do the same for life's challenges. Before a difficult meeting, rehearse it in your mind. Visualize yourself responding with calm authority, not reactive emotion. Anticipate objections and see yourself handling them with logical precision. This process scripts your future actions, making the desired outcome feel familiar and achievable, not foreign and frightening. Machiavelli understood that a leader's greatest tool is his own mind, disciplined and focused. He wrote, "The first method for estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the men he has around him." Your men are your thoughts. Are they loyal servants to your mission, or are they traitors conspiring to keep you weak? You must become the ruler of your own mental kingdom, exiling the traitors and promoting the loyalists. This architectural work is silent, invisible, and undramatic. But it is the foundation upon which every external victory is built. Without it, any success you achieve will be fleeting, built on the same shaky ground that led to your previous struggles. Number 9, the economy of respect. You've learned that displaying weakness makes you a target. Now let's talk about the currency that governs these interactions. Respect. Most people think of respect as a feeling, an emotion you either have for someone or you don't. This is a fatal error. Respect is an economy. It is a system of transactions based on perceived value. In this economy, you are either a valuable asset or a depreciating liability. Your actions, your words, and your boundaries are the transactions that determine your balance, the principles of the respect economy. Respect is withdrawn, not given freely. You must stop giving away respect as a default setting. When you automatically respect your elders or respect your boss, regardless of their conduct, you devalue your own currency. Respect should be your reaction to another person's demonstrated competence, integrity, and strength. It is earned through observation, not granted through title or obligation. Your value is determined by your self-valuation. How you treat yourself sets the market price for how others will treat you. If you consistently discount your time, arriving late, taking on low-priority tasks, your skills, downplaying your expertise, and your boundaries, accepting disrespect, you are telling the world you are a cheap stock. Consequently, no one will want to invest seriously in you. When you value yourself highly, when your time is protected, your word is binding, and your standards are enforced, you become a blue-chip asset. People invest their respect carefully because they know you are valuable. Every interaction is a negotiation. From a casual conversation to a salary discussion, you are constantly negotiating your worth. The person who speaks too quickly, reveals too much, or laughs too easily is making concessions without getting anything in return. The strategic individual understands the power of pause, the weight of silence, and the art of measured disclosure. They make the other party work for their approval, thereby increasing its perceived value. Debts must be collected. In any economy, when a debt is incurred, it must be paid. When someone disrespects you, crosses a boundary, or wastes your time, a debt is created. Most people write off these debts as not a big deal. This is a catastrophic financial error in the respect economy. You must become a collector. This doesn't mean becoming vengeful or aggressive. It means enforcing a consequence, no matter how small. It could be a calm but firm correction. I need to stop you there. The way you're speaking to me is not acceptable. It could be walking away from a conversation. It could be withdrawing your time or attention. By collecting these debts, you establish creditworthiness. People learn that disrespecting you comes with an immediate and certain cost. Machiavelli's observation that it is better to be feared than loved is, at its core, a lesson in this economy. Love can be fickle and is often given based on how you make people feel. Fear, in this context, is the certain knowledge that you will enforce the rules of engagement. It is the respect for your boundaries. When people know that transgressions will be met with consistent, calculated consequences, they transact with you honestly. You become a stable, predictable currency in a world of hyperinflated egos and false promises. Number 10. The strategy of ruthless prioritization. You have limited time, energy, and attention. These are your sovereign resources. Weakness is characterized by the diffusion of these resources. Strength is characterized by their ruthless concentration. Most people live in a state of reactive prioritization. Their to-do list is a monument to other people's agendas. Their energy is drained by dramas they invited, by not having clear boundaries. Their attention is fragmented across a dozen different apps and distractions. They are like a general who tries to defend every inch of the border at once, leaving no reserve force for a decisive victory. They are strategically weak. You must shift from being reactive to being strategic. This requires a level of prioritization that will feel uncomfortable, even cruel, to the old, programmed you. The mission is supreme. You must have a clear, written definition of what you are trying to build: your career, your health, your wealth, your legacy. This is your central mission. Every single decision, from what you eat for breakfast to the projects you take on, must be evaluated against one question. Does this advance my central mission? If the answer is no, you must have the strength to decline, delegate, or disregard it. The mission is non-negotiable. Protect your foundational energy. Your ability to think clearly and act decisively is your most important weapon. Therefore, your physical and mental health are not self-care luxuries. They are strategic imperatives. Sleep, nutrition, and exercise are not optional. They are the maintenance required to keep your most valuable asset, you, operational. Allowing yourself to become burned out, sick, or mentally foggy is a strategic failure. It is surrendering your power before the battle has even begun. The 80-20 rule of relationships. Look at the people in your life. Identify the 20% who energize you, challenge you, and support your growth. These are your allies. Invest 80% of your social energy here. Then identify the 80% who drain you, create drama, or subtly or not so subtly discourage your ambitions. These are not enemies. They are distractions. Systematically reduce your investment in them. This is not about being mean. It is about being strategic with your emotional and social capital. You cannot carry dead weight to the summit. Time blocking as a siege wall. The world will constantly assault your time. The only defense is to build impregnable walls around it. Time blocking is not a suggestion. It is a decree. You block out time for your deep work, for your health, for your learning, and for your rest. These blocks are sacred. You defend them against all comers, colleagues, friends, even family. When someone requests your time during a blocked period, the answer is a polite but firm, "I have a prior commitment." You do not need to explain what it is. Your time is your sovereignty. This level of focus will feel extreme. People will call you selfish. They will accuse you of changing. They are correct. You are changing from a scattered peasant into a focused sovereign. A king does not apologize for protecting his kingdom. A general does not apologize for concentrating his forces on the decisive point of battle. You must not apologize for concentrating your life on what truly matters.